advancing the conclusion of the environmental process for, say, the East Side Parvati Road project, which we just finished a couple weeks ago. So a portion of that money went to projects. Also, there was, as I think I indicate, after the chip seal program, I have a quick little update in here on the actual overlay program. The overlay program is where we've got a road to a point that it's dropped below 25, and it's really, in other words, we haven't done pavement management, and we've lost the whole investment, right, is what I'm trying to say. And, you know, we're applying those monies and have been this spring, doing, as I said, we just used some of that money in conjunction with the air quality money up on Usaw Road. We've got some other roads that I indicate there, the more major ones that we're putting an actual structural layer of asphalt concrete on. And, you know, I again would like to, I'd like to get that other 1.33 miles of Spy Rock, at least to Wildwood subdivision. That's definitely a goal of this department. Our real goal is to link what we did right at the highway all the way out to the school. It's just, we're looking at competing needs and trying to get a little of that done as we can.
What are we expecting to get from 1B funding next in the 08-09 budget?
I've seen in the governor's May revise, and I'm not real good at reading it, that we were paid 40, so they're saying that we'll get 30 and 30. That would be the full 100%.
Okay.
I've also heard from some of my colleagues that are a little better politically connected that they expect that to be suspended for this year. I put it in the budget narrative for the CEO for this coming year. I'm hoping to have that 30% payment. I think I say this every year, I don't count my chickens before they hatch. I was supposed to have this 1B money, you know, in 07, 08, and I didn't get it till March of 08, as you'll all recall. You know, I mean.
So what about the governor is not suspending Prop 42, but they're going to delay the payment, right?
No, what has happened there, they have delayed the HUDA, the Highway Users Gas Act, I'm sorry. And it's kind of interesting, you know, we voted to secure the Prop 42 sales tax on gas with the Prop 1A. Yeah. That secured that. What that said was that the state could borrow it twice in a 10-year period. They had to pay interest on it, you know, while they borrowed it. So it's what I call the law of unintended consequences. They're not going to suspend the Prop 42. So far, they've said they are not going to. But they looked around in the law, and they can take the HUDA for up to 3 years and not pay a dime in interest on it. So, you know, it's sort of like you close one door, and they found another one that was cheaper for them. So that's what's going on there. That's the actual gas tax that we all thought at least my colleagues have been in this business a lot longer than I. That had never been suspended before. The gas tax was almost sacred, but so apparently it's not.
What is the annual revenue that, if everything went right, we're supposed to get from Prop 42?
Well, the projection for this year, and I actually put it in the budget, is as much as $3 million, which is really exciting to me. And so, I mean, that's this next coming year.
That's a little benefit we're getting from $4 gasoline. I mean,
yeah, that's the sales tax on gas. So if that comes through and we get a 1B payment, I hope to have a lot better list next year. I hope to.
One other personal request, and I'm not trying to tell the road crew how to grade a road, but the road I live on, the Bell Springs Road, is so steep. And the person that called Mr. Wattenberger, he called me too because he's a good friend. He's a neighbor rancher, and he was mad because an empty truck spun out on the other day. And you know, to me, it's kind of embarrassing because the other end of the Spy Rock Road, the Humboldt County, is all paved. And anyways, could that brand new grader? Could they drop? They got to rip out them washboards. Otherwise, they just fill them in. It's like filling them in the water. In a week, they splash out. If they rip that, put a little water on it and rip it and get down below them washboards that are only about that deep and lay it back in, the road would, because them same washboards, and I've been traveling that road for all my life, I swear the same washboards are there that's been there 30 years ago. But I know they got a brand new grader, but the paint's still on the rippers. And if they don't think the grader ripper will do it, we'll get the D6 cat that's parked up there that's got rippers.
I will pass your advice on. Like I say, we have a new supervisor in the area. I've expressed that. You've expressed this to me in the past, Supervisor Pinches. Being a design engineer, aside from driving a forklift for Alex Thomas Packing House, I have no equipment experience. I don't know.
I'm not an expert, and I'm not an engineer like you, but I have graded some of these rural roads. The other day I went up there, and there was an empty low bed. I don't know what he's hauling, but he had the road blocked because he spun out, I mean, if you have a heavy load on, you can go through them washboards. But when you're just going up empty, like he was going up, and he spun out, and nobody could get around him. And it's because of those washboards. It's once you get up the top, it's only 3 miles, and then it's the rest of that road. You don't even need to grade it hardly once a year. But that first from the highway up, and there's so much side roads. Actually, some of Supervisor Smith's constituents use that road, and the traffic is just, and it's the light traffic too. The light cars spin it out.
I'm told that the dust off helps that a little bit, and it binds up the material.
Well, what really
does
helps
that improve it?
What really helps is they fill in them washboards, and then they water it and roll it.
Right.
So that makes it hold it along.
Right.
But if they rip up the washboards and get rid of them,